This video is going to talk about another type of transformation. This type is called a translation. So another way that we can change the location of a point by transforming it in some way. This time we're talking about translations. Translations can also be referred to as shifts. And there's two different shifts we can do, right? So if you shift in your seat, you move around, right? So translations are just shifts. We're just moving around. One thing we can do is shift the x-coordinate, or translate the x-coordinate. And if we're talking about negative values, then we go left. And if we're talking about positive values, then we are going to shift right. So let's do an example and figure out what we're talking about here. So let's try and start at 5, 5. And we'll call this point A. So at 5, 5, that's our starting point. That's point A. I'm going to translate, and this is how they'll give it to you. They'll say translate, and they'll give you what looks like a coordinate pair. So let's try negative 3, let's say 2. So we're translating by these values. So again, these might look like coordinate pairs, but a translation is telling you what to do to your x value and what to do to your y value. So they're not an actual point, but we will end up at a point. So let's do the x-coordinate. We started at 5, and since this is a negative translation, we're going to shift left on the x-axis 3 spots. So we're shifting left 1, 2, 3. So we should be right there, right? But we also have to translate the y value as well. So let's talk about what y-coordinate translations do. So very similarly, y-coordinates, a negative value shifts us down, and a positive value shifts us up. So this is a positive value, so we should shift up 2. So up 2. So our end point is right there. We shifted left 3 and up 2. We went left 1, 2, 3, up 2. So that's a translation of negative 3, 2. And again, our translated or transformed point gets that apostrophe next to it, so we can always make sure. We know what's the difference. This is our original, this is our translated point. Alright, let's try another one. Let's try and put a B at 7, 2. 7, 2 right there, and that's our B original. And now let's translate that by the same translation. So here's a second way we can do it. The first way is we physically counted, right? We physically counted 3 spots left, 2 spots up. But we can also do it mathematically. If we add the translated value to our original x value, so if we combine those two values, we get our new value. Let's see what we get here. This is B translated. So negative 3 combined with a positive 7 gives us a positive 4. You can think of combinations. If I combine two things, I'm also talking about adding. So 7 plus negative 3 is positive 4. So let's do the y values now. 2 plus 2, or 2 combined with 2, gives us another 4. So at 4, 4, we now have our translated B value. And we can check it doing the same thing we did the first time. Let's physically count 3 spots left and 2 spots up. Whoop, we got the same answer. Okay, so 2 different ways we can do it. We can physically count on the graph by the translation that it tells us, or we can combine the values. Combine the 2 x's and you get your translated, or combine the 2 y's and get your translated y. Let's try one more. Let's try a C point. Let's put C at 3, 0. Let's try a different translation now. So instead of this translation right here, let's translate by -4, -6, and see what happens. So let's just plot our original point, 3 zeros right here, that's C. And now I'm going to translate, so I'm either going to go left -4 and down 6, or I can combine my values. -4 plus 3 gives us -1, and 0 plus -6 gives us -6. So we should end up at -1, -6. Well, let's check it. Did we go left 4 spots? 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So there we go. 2 different ways to do translations. Physically count what it tells you to do using these rules. If it's negative, go left. If it's positive, go right for the x coordinates. And for the y coordinates, if it's negative, go down. If it's positive, go up. Y, okay. Or just combine your x values. Excuse me, the original. Wow. Whew. Combine your original x values and combine the y values. Wow, I totally lost my voice. It's gone. So this video's done.